Welcome to the Chop Team. I'm your host, Seth the Dart Child.
I'm your host, twinsinc.
Our show is about two guys and any friends that happen to come over with a topic that we want to chop up.
This is our Barbershop style podcast. We discuss it all. If the fellas at the shop will go in on it, we will. Let's chop it up. We back.
Yo,
How you doing, Seth the Dark Child?
Ah, brother, I'm blessed, man. I'm happy.
Listen, last week we didn't have a show because we were spending family time with our friends and family. That's what we call it, family time, because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad, you had a good time. I had a good time. I'm sure you ate good.
Yeah.
I think we all ate good.
Well, you know what, though? I did better, though. I went into the week at a calorie deficient because I was, hungry all week, just so I can indulge.
Okay. A little balance there, right?
I tried because I'm a big dude. I can't just go in like I used to.
You still working out, right?
Oh, my God. My shoulders hurt. I just left the gym on my way over here.
Health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you stay on your health because people dropping like flies. But you want to make one thing you can control is your health. It means your health. You know what I'm saying? Your weight, whatever. Health is wealth. Get in the gym, work out, drink water, try to do balance things out. Because as you know, as in today, things are getting wild. So welcome to the Dachop Team. We have live broadcastings every Sunday, 3 p.m. ish. And today we're early. We're early today. This stream started at 2:56 p.m., so we early today. So Seth the Child got a good topic we want to talk about today. And normally we talk about women and other stuff. Today we get a little more educational with y'all today. Now we still tying into women and men, everybody into it though. Yes. But it's gonna be a little educational today though. But once again, every Sunday 3 p.m. ish. Follow us on YouTube, the Chop Team, live recording. The episodes drop every Monday 7 a.m. on all platforms. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, whatever, on all the big distributors for podcasting. We live, we there, check us out. So, with all that out the way, Seth the Dark Child.
Yes, sir.
You sent me this topic today. It says, the F defeated by math. Now, when I first saw a topic, I thought he was saying the F-bomb word, right? But apparently, it's the other F-bomb word. And good, sir, what was the F word that you want to talk about?
And I have to say female ism.
Okay.
I said it all messed up like that because if I just say it straight out, sometimes YouTube gets upset.
Got it.
Yeah, but
Got it.
But the independent womanism mentality.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
Defeated by simple math.
By math. Simple math.
Simple math.
All right. So where did this conversation or where did it stem from? Because, I guess over the last week and during holiday time, you were around friends and family.
Okay. So, all right. So, me and some family members went and shot pool this week. We just went out in the evening, went and shot some pool. And once again, we were at round one. We weren't out in the pool hall. So we went to round one, played some games. And ended up in the evening, we just were like, yes, let's shoot some pool and talk junk, right? So we're on the pool table, and I just happened to be on the pool table with my nephew and his girlfriend. My nephew's 17, his girlfriend's 17. Both of them will be graduating from high school at the end of this year, right?
Okay.
And of course, you know me, I'm always asking. So once you get out of high school, what are your plans? My nephew said something reasonable. I'm going to take go to online college. I'm going to take a coding course, learn how to code and program. Stay at home, and get and work. It was reasonable. I can argue with that because I knew what I was asking. And his girlfriend, She had this weird look on her face. The only reason it hit me because I said, okay, I'm going to go in on her. Because she looked like, she had a little smirk on her face like, I can't believe that's his ambition.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so,
What's yours?
Yeah, what's your plan? Let's give her a name. I'm going to say Kayla, all right?
To protect the innocent.
Yeah, because I like using people's names. So we're going to call her Kayla. That is not her real name. Okay?
I'm gonna call her K because I know I'm gonna forget. So K.
Still, it doesn't matter if you forget fake name altogether. We don't care.
Right.
Anyway, so I'm asking Kayla, and I'm like, okay, so what are you going to do? And she had all kind of fantasies. She wanted to go to a HBCU, and she was going to major in business with a focus on entrepreneurship. And my mind said, entrepreneurship.
First off, let's go before you go in. So I like the fact that she wanted to go to a black college. So that's number one. That's dope. I'll give her credit for that.
Knocking that. Not knocking it.
Okay, cool. Now the red flag for me was the major she won't focus on. What was that major again? Business
with the focus on entrepreneurship. I don't even know if that's a class, but that's what she said.
Yo, we somebody needs to, this is a PDA or PA announcement.
Hey, listen, a public service PSA.
Please, adults, please teach your young children that going to college to get a degree in business administration is a waste of money. I feel sorry for the people who got the degrees in it. You did it. You can pass information on to the people below you, before you, because knowledge is power. But going to school for 4 years and ranking up thousands of dollars in debt for a degree for business administration has to be the worst thing in the world. That whoever created needs to be shot. Continue with the story. Go ahead.
There's no argument. Listen. So she said that but when she said focus on entrepreneurship, in my mind, being a black male, all I could think of, she's trying to sell eyelashes and weave. Right?
Oh Lord.
I mean, honestly, when you say entrepreneurship, so what do you want to be an entrepreneur? Stupid stuff.
So she didn't really have a real focus of what she wanted to do. As far as she
just knew she wanted to open up a business. She didn't know what.
She went up with a business, and she didn't know the business end. She didn't know what the business possibly should make.
Doesn't know anybody in business. Doesn't know any business owners.
Listen, I'll give y'all a freebie here. Listen, anyone who's thinking about going to college, and if you have kids, talk to them or let them listen to this. If you're going to college and you're going to spend thousands of dollars on loans, unless you get free grants and scholarship, which is a small number that do, but most of the case, people are getting loans. Mm-hmm. Make sure the degree that you're getting for, find the end goal. The end goal is, okay, if I get this degree here, I can get this job here, and this job's going to pay me X amount of dollars. Now, I may start low and work my way up, but here's the potential to make this set of money, right? Mm-hmm. If you can't do that and see how much money you're going to spend or you could possibly make, but your college degree, you going to school, you know what you're going to pay per semester. It could be $30,000 per semester or more, whatever, by 4. Sometimes more than that if you continue with your education. Mm-hmm. If your college debt is going to end up being over $200,000, and then your career that you're possibly going for is only between $70,000 to $100,000, you gonna make, that's a red flag right there. Yes. I'll stop for a minute. Go ahead, Seth.
No, you were once again defeated by math. You're exactly there. We're gonna get into some dry numbers in a few minutes, but this is just still the initial conversation, right? So I'm like, okay, focus on entrepreneurship. I'm like, okay. I said, is your mom and dad together? Once again, you have to ask this nowadays. She looked at me like I asked a weird question because she didn't understand where I was going with it, but she answered exactly the way I thought. No, it's just me and my mom and my brother. Okay, so there's no father figure to provide rock solid, logical guidance here.
Hold on 1 second. Message. Message. Continue.
Saw that coming. Okay, so no, it's just me, my mom and my brother. Okay. So your mama don't see no problem with you going. I said, fine. What school do you want to go to? She said, Tennessee State. Okay.
Now where she lives?
Oh, she lives here in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. All right, continue.
She lives here. But she wants to go to Tennessee State. Okay. I pulled up my trusty. I asked her, I said, how much is tuition at Tennessee State? She didn't know.
Oh.
She hadn't done the math. So I pulled out my trusty Celica phone that basically has all the accumulated human knowledge currently available at your fingertips.
Fingertips.
You
don't got to go computer and load it up. You can go right to your cell phone like Google, Siri, whoever.
Exactly. You don't even have to learn how to type in the buttons. You can literally just say, hey, what is the tuition at Tennessee State University? Oh, boom. There it is. Okay. So anyway, I pulled up my cell phone and did that. And I came up with the number, rounding up, it says 36 and some change. Let's
36
K
per or
year.
Okay. Got you. Per
Yeah,
year. Go ahead.
I'm like, that's like 100 and that's damn near 140 a year. Maybe I'm looking at something wrong, but that's
that's per semester or per year?
Year.
30 per year.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Continue.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So I'm like, whoa. You might want to try to find a school in state or something like that. She said, well, I thought about going to Spelman or Clark, Atlanta. Once again, pulled up my trusted Celica phone. I'm like, yo, it's still in the 30s. Clark, Atlanta is expensive. Spelman is expensive. And I'm like, yo, have you thought about like Georgia Perimeter for your first 2 years?
And that's a community college, right?
Yeah.
Community
college. You know how much Georgia Perimeter is for a year?
I'm gonna
with
say
in-state tuition.
10.
9. You were very close.
Hey, I was guessing.
But she looked at me like I had told her about dog poo or something like that, right? So I said, okay. So now,
hold up before you jump deep in there.
Okay.
I just want to say this: another message, another tip for the young teens. Listen, anyone who's about to go to college, I will recommend going to a community college for your first couple of years. If you want to go to a 4-year school, I recommend. Why you recommend that? Because your freshman year in college, all you're going to do is take basic core classes, unless you test high up. Even though they're going to say, oh, you didn't test high enough, because it's all about money. But the point I'm trying to make is you can take those same classes at a community school, which would be much easier, much smaller, whatever, cost a lot cheaper, and guess what? They transfer to all those big colleges.
Yeah.
I took community college when I was in Pittsburgh, PA, and guess what? Those same community colleges, the classes I took, transfer here to Atlanta. If I want to go to Georgia Tech, all my core classes I took, English 1, English 2, mass communication, all basic stuff, it transfers over.
I mean, I don't know why I don't even know why you would go to a private college to take sociology, civics, and
ethics,
and you want to spend. Man, I spent my first 2 years at straight up DeKalb Technical because my classes transferred directly to Georgia State with no questions asked. Only thing is, I only paid 1/3 the cost. Message. Okay, so I had that. She looked at me like I was insulting her, and I was like, "So," I asked, "Do you know the number of startup small businesses that fail every year?" She was like, "No." I said, "So you don't even know?" I said, "How much money do you think you'll be making when you get out of college?" She said, "Oh, I'll easily be making $100,000 a year."
Wow, really? Doing what?
Yeah, because I need to know, because I've been working for 25 years and I haven't found a way to make $100K a year legally. Sorry, So I'm like, okay. I said, "You sure you want to do what you thinking about doing?" I said, "Cause hold on." I said, "On your cell phone, pull up the average yearly salary." This is average. Everybody's different in America for women, not just black women. Women. I pulled up a number of like $32,000 a year. Average salary for women across the board in America, $32K.
Listen, and I just pulled this up right now. Small businesses with no employees can average between $46,000 a year.
Average.
And they can make up to 71 in a year. But make less than $100,000 a year as a small business owner.
Okay.
Continue what you're saying. I just want to throw it out there.
Once again, we're going to get into some dry math. Seriously, people, pull out y'all pencil and papers. So I'm like, okay, so I've seen so many red flags that I was about to tell my nephew, yo, you need to break up with her right now. Go ahead and get through the holidays, but yeah, because this is a losing proposition. I ain't even got to the part where I really got my feelings hurt.
Your feelings hurt or her feelings hurt?
My feelings hurt because somebody's turning this child loose into the world, and my nephew has to deal with this turned loose monster.
Okay, got you.
Once again, and boys too, but I'm on my nephew's side because he's my nephew and she is a stranger. This ain't about men versus women.
No,
this is family,
blood.
Yeah. So okay. I said, if you go there and you take out loans, you're looking at $100,000 in student loans. You okay with that? She was like, yeah, because I'm going to be making enough money to pay it. I mean, I started feeling like a vain. You know how you trying to shoot pool and all of a sudden you can't hit nothing? Mm-hmm. She done blew my focus off the water. Okay, so you're gonna take out $100,000 in student loans and you're good with that. I said, do you want to get married and have kids? She said, yeah, when I get around 27 or 28, I want to have my first kid.
Okay.
I was like, so you think you'll be finished paying your student loans before you have your first kid? Oh, yeah, because I'm going to make that much money.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Wow. I mean, it sounds good. Listen, go to school, right? Listen, this is in their head, it's like, okay, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to get this degree. I'm going to rack up $100,000 a year. Not a year, but total in college debt. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to get a job fresh out of college with no experience anywhere. But they're going to give me $100,000 plus salary. And guess what? I'm going to pay, when I get paid, I'm going to pay that directly back to them. So within my first 2 years, I'll be done. I mean, that's it sound like in my head what she was thinking, but she didn't factor her life. But we won't get to that. Go ahead, Seth.
Well, you know what? Okay. I just want to take a small detour down a rabbit hole, but I actually know guys that did what you just said. They took out one of my, this a different nephew, older nephew, but one of my other nephews his friend did this. His friend literally just worked the first 3 years out of college, stayed at home with his parents, and paid off all his student loans. He got a degree in engineering, and he still lived at home with his parents for 3 years just to pay off his student loans. So that by the time he was 27 years old, he had a degree in engineering and zero in student loans. That was huge.
That was huge. And
most people don't do that.
And that's so rare because most, and I'm speaking for our community, most black families,
black kid.
Once I hit the age of, when I was working 16 years old before I went to college, I was paying bills. So you think that me going to college and graduating college, that my mom was going to let me stay in her house rent-free and not pay bills there, on top of me paying for my car note and everything else? I mean, so salute to that person, your nephew, who was blessed enough to be able...
nephew's friend.
Huh?
Nephew's friend.
Your nephew, salute to your nephew's friend that was able to have... Was he black?
Oh, black kid. Nice kid. Great.
He's one of the few. He lucky. I wish I was him. The fact that he can go to school and come back home and work, and then he was dedicated enough, too. Let's factor that in, too.
That's it.
That he was dedicated enough not to get in debt, not to get no girls pregnant, not to buy cars and XYZ. And if he did, he still balanced it out properly, where in 3 years, he was debt-free. So by the time he was 27, he moved out and had a career, he can be debt-free and live his best life. Wow.
Oh, nobody nothing.
Oh, nobody nothing. That's awesome. Now, like I said, in this era now, we're quick to kick our kids out the house. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? And number two, we're quick to take money from them. They're living on a house, right?
Because we probably need it, but it is what it is.
And it depends. Like, my thing is this. If a child who's over 18 years old, whatever, college, whatever, granted, if the person is working hard, going to school, staying out of trouble, then I'm okay with them living with me rent-free, as long as they do the basic stuff around the house, like clean up, whatever, help out, whatever case may be, right? As long as you ain't being disrespectful, whatever. Cool. But if you live in my house, you ain't going to college, you got girls running in through the house, you smoking weed, doing nothing, no, you got to go, because you're not trying to better yourself. That's two different things I gave y'all. So if I see someone working hard and on their grind, okay, I'm more likely to let you stay here rent-free, because I know how the world is. It's cold out there. But if I let you get on your feet, stack your money up, pay your debt-free, sure.
I mean, once again, I haven't gotten away from where I was at.
No, but I'm done.
Yeah, like I say, just to clear that portion. Whew. If I have that open line of communication with my child, not just my son, my child comes to me and say, "Yo, Dad, this is my plan," and it's a reasonable plan, I don't have a problem keeping a roof over my son's head. It ain't like his bedroom all of a sudden stopped working because he turned 21.
Right.
The bed is already there. The light's gonna already be on. I'm going to pay my own mortgage. Son, as long as I see you ain't effing up, I got you 1,000. That's what parents are supposed to do. Okay? So, I get that. But, back to this young lady. So, that's her plan. She wants to have a kid around 27. She wants to get married somewhere around 27, 28. She is more than comfortable with $100,000 in student loans. And if you guys know anything about student loans, what's the average interest rate? It could easily be up to 10% on a student loan. You take out $100,000 in student loans at 10%, you'll be paying $700 a month on that student loan for 10 years minimum. That's how it's spent. It'll wreck your future. And that's because once again, we'll get to the dry math in a minute. Where are you going to find $600 a month to pay a student loan?
On top of everything else you got to pay for.
Yeah. So we're about to get to it. So that's her plan. And I'm sitting there listening to her thinking she has no guidance in her life. Nobody has sat down. Everybody keep telling her you can be what you want to. You can do this, queen. You can do that. You will be wonderful. You're strong and powerful. Okay, fine. But then I got down to the really bad part, which kind of sort of messed up the evening a little bit. Because
so Seth the Dark Child came out.
I was still nice because she's 17. She didn't get the hammer.
Okay.
But she did have to hear the numbers. So, average. I asked her again, what is the average salary of a woman in America? I don't care about your race. I found a number that said $32,000 a year. That's average, ladies. That's $32,000 a year, $16 an hour. That's average. I could be wrong. Feel free. But I said, okay, fine. Let's say you make $50,000 a year, which is more than, once again, only white men make over $50,000 a year on average. Black women don't make nowhere close to that. But I even gave her the scenario with $50,000 a year, right? If you make $50,000 a year, you are looking at about a $900 per week paycheck, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So $900 per week. If you add that up, you're looking at give or take about $3,000 a month after taxes. That sounds really, really, really good. Once again, only white men making this. For black women, I swear to God, I'm 90% sure I've doubled what you'll have available. Okay?
Can't argue that. Yeah. Pick up your phone and search it. You'll see it. Continue.
Yeah. So, dry math now. We're just down to dry math. You took out $100,000 in student loans. Woo. My God. So, let's say you make $3,000 a month.
Okay. And
you automatically, this is after taxes, so I've already generously pulled the taxes out, which is going to be like 25-30% of your income. That's just evaporated. And once again, this is average. You hope you get to be average. Not everybody makes it over, not over the average, you know? Okay. So 3,000. You can pull $700 a month off of that just for your student loans. Or you can keep deferring it, which just does what?
Add more time, more interest on it.
That's it. There ain't no math. It ain't
don't go away.
Nice.
Did not go away.
So $700 a month off of that leaves you with $2,300 a month for living expenses. Right?
How much? 23?
$2,300.
$2,300 for a living expense. Okay, all right. I mean, doesn't sound too bad. I mean, for a bachelor, but continue.
Okay. Well, it doesn't sound bad for a bachelor until you say.
Or what you call them? Bachelorette?
Bachelorette, yeah.
Okay, I got it. Okay, yeah, for either or.
Yeah, but once again, this is just a person. Women, these numbers, I'm being very, very, very generous. Ladies, women don't make as much as men. We can argue all we want about the salary gap, but most women aren't willing to put in 20 hours of overtime per paycheck. You're just not willing. That's fine, though. I don't care.
Some do, and once again, we're not talking about absolute. So before y'all get like, all women.
There's no such thing as 100% nothing.
No, there's some out there who put the work in, but not all. But continue.
Most women don't. I don't care. We're not doing that. Right. This is for people. The average black man in America makes $42,000 a year. The average black man. That means the dude throwing trash off the side of on the back of a trash garbage truck. The dude up on your roof. The $42,000 a year is the average salary for men. I'm being generous at 50. Really, really, really generous. Okay, so boom. But you got $600 in student loans, baby. $700 in student loans. You can keep deferring it, but I swear you don't want to do that. Anyway, so you got potentially $2,300 left for your living expenses. I said, you plan on staying in Atlanta? She said, yeah. I said, you want to live inside the perimeter or outside the perimeter? She said, why? I said, well, because my trusty cell phone here says that apartment inside the perimeter for 1-bedroom apartment is $1,600 a month on average. Unless you live in a neighborhood where, well, some people don't make it home at night.
Right. Facts.
Okay. $1,600 a month. If you live outside the perimeter, it's $1,200 a month. So I'm assuming you're going to live outside the perimeter. $2,300 minus 12 gives you how much left? I'm thinking $1,100 a month. Then I said, okay, all right. You got $1,100 a month. What, you want to drive a car? Of course she wants to drive a car. I said, what kind of car do you want? She said a Lexus. I was like, okay. Let's say being really generous. What's a car note on a Lexus? About $400 a month. That's a cheap one. Let's
go for it because we want someone she'll get a used, not brand new.
Still, because at her age, you're still gonna have to pay that anyway.
We ain't factor in insurance, high risk. Continue.
$400 a month car note.
Okay.
So that leaves you with $700, right?
Okay.
You're gonna have to pay at least $150 a month of car insurance, right?
Facts.
Okay. So now from $700, you down to $550. But you got a car, you got car insurance, you got rent, and you paid your student loans for the month, right?
Did you factor in water, gas, electric, all that?
I haven't even got to utilities.
Okay.
Wait, how much is gas? How much you think she's going to burn in gas?
Oh, driving a car?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to take premium.
So $100 a month?
Ooh, yes. This is the $100
You being nice.
This be nice. $100 a month.
So now, just to drive your car, it's $100 a month. So now you already down to $450 out of your paycheck that's left. $450. Utilities. I'm assuming I was like, you want a cell phone? Yeah.
Oh, that's 100 something.
Boom. Let's say 100.
Let's say 100.
So now you're down to $350. You got a cell phone with a plan. You're gonna need lights, water, gas, sewer. I don't know what all the utilities.
Hopefully
cable.
With the apartment, some of that's included. Maybe.
Still lights, cable. If you don't want cable, but you're still gonna need a data plan. You're still going to need internet service.
You definitely need data.
You're going to need electricity, data services, probably something else, water or gas. You're going to pay for one of those.
So let's be generous. Let's lump all those in for $250.
$250 a month.
Let's lump all that in for $250 a month.
$250 a month. So you $350 a month. $350 left this every month, and you just spent $250.
On all
you now have approximately $100 left out of $3,000.
Then you factor food. Now,
how much?
Now, mind you,
guess you're gonna be eating ramen noodles.
That's what I'm saying. Now, at this point, that's where it's gonna get shaky at because you're not gonna be eating healthy.
Still, she gonna budget $100 for food.
Yeah, so we probably gonna look at maybe, let's say 50.
50 for food?
50 for
a month?
Food. I mean, she's gonna buy some meat. She's gonna have to chop it up, spaghetti, something. Something's gonna last.
She's gonna be sick.
I mean, but we're talking about a lady though. You know, they got guys for that.
No,
Sorry.
well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so
that could be my nephew. You could be her food, but you could be her food budget.
Right.
Okay. So with that being said, she still has $50 a month. But you know what? All this talk we did. Are you sleeping on the floor? We ain't did nothing about furnishing the house.
Now, I'll give her this. When it comes to putting stuff in the house, if her parents or somebody want to give her, she'll have her bedroom that she had when she was a kid, right? So she'll get her basic stuff. So she'll get that. So don't worry about that part.
Okay.
But outside of everything you done broke down, did we focus how her maintenance going to be?
Oh, we ain't even got to that. So that's a whole different thing.
So we know she got clothes already. So we ain't factoring clothes. She's going to probably wear the same clothes she has now. But how she going to factor in her makeup, her hair, her nails, toes?
How much does that cost a month? Wait.
We over budget now.
We did a show about this. Isn't the average maintenance cost for a woman in America right now is about $333 a month.
We ain't
this
negative.
is the average woman. The weave, $200 weave. You got to get your nails done. You got to get your toes done. You got to get your eyelashes done. You got to have some kind of facial care regimen. You might have to go to a gym. I don't know what's going on with your life, but average $330. She only got $50 left. So now, without any junk, she's $280 in the hole.
Credit cards.
Oh, but what happens? Oh yeah, what's that number?
Man, yeah, go ahead.
But the average person does have about $25,000 in.
Once you get student loans, you be able to. Once you apply and get student loans, the first thing come to mail after student loans is credit card offers, and unless your parents gonna co-sign over you, they're gonna be either like $500 minimum. Okay. But then if you get a co-sign, you might get a couple $1,000s. You know what I mean, to play with.
But that's going to be another bill every month.
Oh yes, it will be. That's what I'm saying.
So what's a credit card bill what's a payment going to be for credit cards every month?
I mean, because it's a credit card, you can pay the minimum balance. So let's say $15 a month will be the minimum balance, even though it's $15.
No, because you get about $1,000. The minimum payment on $1,000 is more like $75.
I get it. I mean, right. I'm not assuming she's gonna get a credit card limit for $50,000 to play with, because that's $800 a month per se. So let's say that $100 a month. Let's say that.
That's all.
I'll go $100 a month.
That still puts her $380 in the hole.
I mean,
every month.
More than likely, she's gonna live through that credit card. So if that credit card has a $5,000 balance,
those
bills and it can be paid for the credit card. But every time she get paid, she throwing that money right back on the credit card.
So
to balance it out.
So okay, now.
So on top of being on student loan debt, now you're on credit card debt, which is still mess up your credit.
And I'm going to say this. I said, that's if everything in your life goes perfectly. If everything in your life is perfect, you are looking at a $400 a month negative if you made $50,000 a year. This is what happens once again. You want to get that $100,000 student loan. You would be fine if you didn't have $100,000 in student loans. You would actually be still plus on the plus side of the book, $300. But you signed for them loans. You can defer them, but I swear. So, when did you want to get married? 27. The moment you get married, you think being married and having kids isn't going to hit you on your bottom line, because you're not putting in $50,000 a year worth of work when you have that first child.
Oh,
we ain't said nothing about child care expenses or nothing. This. Once again, I was telling, I said, girl, if you want to get married, don't even bother going to school. Or if you're going to go to school, you need to change your major and you need to change your focus, and don't sign up for $100,000 in loans.
Yeah, fact.
Especially if you want to get married and have kids, because this isn't now that's the dry math. I want to say this. That's the dry math, the numbers. If you want to argue with me on any of these numbers, feel free. But this is just pencil and paper. I haven't said anything ridiculous. God forbid something happens to you, a medical illness, because when I had my son, my insurance at the time paid $90.10. It cost $30,000 for my son to be born and brought into this world. I had to pay $3,000 out of my pocket to bring my child into this world. If I was already at a deficit of $380 a month, that $3,000 hospital bill would wreck me. Am I lying? Am I wrong?
Nope, not at all.
Okay. So, a lot of people living in this optimistic world where everything will be everything and everything will be perfect. Nah. You ain't got no error. You got no margin for error, and even with that, you are going to be losing. So this is where me and her got into a real disagreement. It's like, okay, if you want to be married, you need to marry early, and you need to stay married. She was like, "No, what do you mean?" I said, "Get married early. 21, 22, you get married, and then you stay married." She did not want to hear that part.
What, to stay married or get married?
Both. Because
like who gets married not to stay married though? That's the problem.
Average marriage in the black community is 5 years.
And I get that. But the problem is that from the jump street, every person who got married anyone who ever got married, you ask when they first got married, did they know they was going to separate? No. Did they have plans to separate? No. No one gets married to get divorced. That's never the goal. That's never the thought process. Does it happen? Yes. But no one's like, all right, I'm going to get married, but you know what? There might be a chance I will get divorced, and I'm ready for that. No one plans for that. But continue. I'm sorry. Well, the fact that she was like, I got to stay married.
That's it, because I'm
stuck. Like, wait, whoa! Tell your nephew to run.
Talk to these young people. They look at relationships. Relationships are transitory situations for them. They don't go into any relationship thinking more than 5 years down the road, because once again, I just broke down the fact that she is okay with getting student loans with the full expectation of getting married and having kids 5 years after graduation. But that student loan, unless you have extraordinary discipline, you will be nowhere close to paying off $100,000. That's a house note.
It is.
Ain't nobody paying off a mortgage in 5 years. $100,000, that's a 15-year commitment for the average person.
Yes.
Minimum. 15 years.
You know, I didn't really think about that. Like, getting a student loan for school is like buying a house. Because I have a house and I paid X amount of dollars. So it makes sense more now than anything. Like, imagine going to school for a piece of paper that costs more than a house, but you'll never make enough money to be able to pay that within a lifespan. You're forever in debt to your student loans. It's like I'm in forever debt with buying a house. So let's be clear, it's still losses on both ends, right? Mm-hmm. But at least I know when I get paid, my money's going to my house. So I know the end goal is something that this is mine, and then it hopefully stays in the generation of the family, because I'm writing my will, make sure it stays in the family. But continue. Go ahead.
One other thing I want to put out, once again, dry math. You can't default on a student loan. You can default on your mortgage. You can default on your car loan. You can file bankruptcy, chalk it up to the game, go on about your business.
That's
have
true.
Bad credit for X number of years. Boom, buy you a house. Buy you another car. You can do that.
Yeah, that's fact.
Guess what? When you get $100,000 student loans.
Oh, they want their money.
They'll take, and when you die, let's say you have something like beneficiaries or some crap like that, children, they will try to make your kids pay your student loans. It doesn't end just because you died. You can't default on a student loan.
That part right there.
They
want their money for that piece of paper that you probably struggle to survive your whole life for.
Exactly.
Wow.
You took out if you take out $100,000 in student loans and you get a job that doesn't pay at least how much you owe on your student loan, you've lost. You gambled and you lost. So once again,
yes, that's a loss. Sorry, I agree, it's a loss. Listen, if it ain't between $70,000 up to $100,000, if you start below that, like 30,000, 40, you're losing. Because by the time you get to the 70, 50, you're going to be like years in. And by that time, you're going to be less. It's very important to make sure that you very strategically find out the grade that you're going for. What is the minimal amount that I can start out to get into my position to where I can get the money I want? If the minimum money is not close up to what you pay in student loans, don't go for it. But
exactly.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, once again, so I know this sounded bad. Have I stayed focused on the topic?
Yeah, you definitely.
We've done the numbers.
You've done the numbers.
Once again, this is no spite for anybody.
No.
If you're gonna get, and once again, when I was telling her to stay married, if you're gonna get married, stay married. And I don't mean go into it. I mean you need to take marriage off the table, because if I'm a man marrying you, and I know, and you bringing $100,000 in student loan debt to the table, you had better convince me that it's worth me to invest in you. Because I'm not just getting a girl. I'm not just getting, this is, a student loan is worse than a kid. Because a kid at least, well, no, I ain't going to say it's worse than a kid, because still the government and other entities going to be putting a gun to my head making me pay this bill. Once again, get married and stay married. But if you want to be married, you need to find a cheaper way to get this education. Unfortunately for us, as people of color, we don't have the familial backing to say, I'm going to get a full ride because my dad took care of it. Once again, she's just living with her mom and her brother. So There's no dad to cover it. My own son, because I got divorced and I put myself in the middle, I'm not going to be able to cover his college tuition because I haven't been able to save the reserves to cover his college tuition because I've been paying his mother child support. So
that's something you need to think about it, right? Ooh, that's something to think about before you. And I understand relationships has ups and downs and things may happen, right? We get that 10,000%. But very clear. If you really care about your children, your son or your daughter, if you really care about their future, right? Just know the fact that if you decide to get divorced and you put the man on child support, and I get it, he still needs to take care of responsibility, but he's going to take care of responsibility. But when it comes to going to college now, daddy or mommy is not going to have the money to pay for college tuition because I couldn't save that money up to give you a full ride scholarship because I had to pay you now to survive at this moment while I have to survive as well. See, it's pros and cons there. So that makes perfectly sense what you say. If you get married, you stay married. And that should be period, right? Because once again,
it should be basic common sense.
Basic common sense because
it's not, but it should be.
Because I'm married now and I have savings for my kids. I have trust in XYZ for the kids. But if something were to happen, we separate and I get divorced and then now I got to pay XYZ, I can't put money and funds into that no more because I need to give funds to it right now for them to survive now.
Exactly.
So you can't be like, oh, what you mean you don't have no money for the kids to go to school? I said, I don't because I had to spend that money and give it to you now. When we was together, it was already being put to the side.
Exactly.
Pros and cons. Yes. But continue. But that's a great message. A great message on why you should stay together because when you get married, you have to understand, once you bring kids, marriage, cool. Once you bring kids in the picture, once you get married, it's no longer about you anymore. It's now about the kids. Your kids are now depending on mommy and daddy. Just point blank period. They didn't ask to be here. Nope. So we have to put our differences aside, work out wherever we need to work out. But we got to make sure we keep this unit together because at the end of the day, it's about them. And anyone who say, forget my kids, my happiness come first. That's the red flag right there. You should
not have children.
And you shouldn't have kids in the first place because your happiness should not rely on what is done for you. Is marriage tough? Yes.
Yes.
I'm not going to say it like it's the best thing in the world. Is it tough? Hell yeah. But at the end of the day, if you have kids, your kids depend on you without them even knowing they depend on you. So I'll let my plan there and let you finish. But that was a great message there why staying together matters. And I didn't think about that till you broke that down right there. Message.
Yeah. So once again, I'm pretty much wrapping it up. But that was the whole conversation. I didn't go into personal choice and all this. That was just math. Everything I've said you can pull out a calculator and do this on paper. I don't care. This isn't about you being in an unhappy. This isn't telling you to stay in an abusive relationship. No. This isn't telling you that men and women. I don't care about none of that.
No.
This was a young lady who, without the proper, I won't say the proper guidance, without somebody just making her pull out a pencil and paper and doing the math, she has a lot of fantasies. If she does what she plans on doing, she is going to wreck her future, in my opinion. She could get lucky. Lord knows. I wish I could have gotten lucky. It's not for everybody.
And I'm actually glad that you had that conversation with her because, like you said, there's no man in the picture, right? And not saying you trying to be step in and be her dad because
I just happened to be there.
Just happened to be there because, once again, that's your nephew's
girlfriend,
right? So the fact that you took the time to sit down and have this conversation with her, she can either A, take the information and receive it, or say, forget him, he an old man, he don't know what he's talking about.
Yep.
A, which is understandable because everyone's up to their choices. The one thing that Seth did was good. He gave you the valuable knowledge. And it's up to you to decide what you want to do with it, right? So it may not hit her right now. It may hit her later on. It might hit her that night. Hopefully it does hit her at a certain point to where she be like, know what? That his uncle, whatever, Seth the Dark Child, he has a point. And let me really think about this. Because it's not that he was trying to attack her. He was trying to give her knowledge that's the job of us parents. That's the job of people who's older to pass on knowledge to the youth so they can learn about certain things and so they can not make the mistakes that we made. We once went to school and got all this debt, and we had to learn.
Yep.
Now, me, I learned on the fly. Like, you know what? Why go to big college? I go to community college. Like, when I was done with school, I was only in debt $5,000. I was paying $50 a month, paid it off within a couple of years. No college debt, none.
Dude,
I've been paying college debt since I was late 20s. Mm-hmm. I know people right now who's in their 30s. I'm about to be 40. Mind you that, 10 years now, I'm about to be 40 now. People are still paying college debt right now. Now. Or they deferring it and go back to school later on to add more on. And for what? I never want to see a book again. Now, you have kids, you're going to see a book because they got homework sometimes. But that's a whole nother subject. But once again, I hope, and this is not just an attack at the woman, young men as well. Young men, because there's a lot of guys out there, we going to school for, business administration. What? I think my nephew said he's smart and he's going to college. He want to go to college, or he is going to college. But he's like, I said, what's your major? I said, business. Oh, stop right there. I said, listen, I know your dad has contact with you. I'm going to tell you the same thing, X, Y, Z. It's your choice now, but do not go to college for a major that says business administration. That is the worst degree in history. Mm-hmm. Trust me. Don't spend. Now, if you get a full ride, okay, cool. If you go pro, okay, cool. But still, if you're going to pull any student loans, it better not be for business administration. It better be something that you can get a job right now. Mm-hmm. So I'll let my plan there. Go ahead.
well, I mean, here, for real, for my own son, my son has an aptitude for IT, for technology. I give him that. If he decide to do anything in the tech field, cool. Once again, I've seen people with very little aptitude make decent livings in the tech field. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I wonder how some people I've worked with even get in the field, you know? But at the same time, if you don't want to be in something that I think pays money, I'm encouraging my son, if you don't want to go to college, get a trade. HVAC, electrician, plumbing.
What we always say, get a skill that pays the bill.
Exactly. You can do this. You can get certification. You can become a certified electrician without ever actually going to college.
And you can get paid really good money for it too. And once you get the experience, you can open up your own firm as an electrician and hire people to work for you to do the work.
Exactly.
Listen. If you want to learn about a skill that pays the bill, all you got to do is walk outside right now. Just walk outside in your front porch or driveway, whatever, and look around. And there's a job opportunity everywhere. You're like, what do you mean? Well, every house needs electricity going to it. So they require an electrician. Every house has HVAC for AC and whatever.
Heat.
Someone got to do that. Every house has plumbing. Someone got to do that.
And no robot. I don't care what they tell you. You cannot automate these jobs. You cannot automate. No robot. Well, I am saying no robot, but until Optimus Prime walks up to your house to install your air conditioning system, it'll probably be a human.
Listen, we look at this wall behind me. Guess what? Me and a friend of mine, Chunky the Don, we put the walls up. The insulation. Exactly. People did that. I paid him. I paid myself because I buy the shit, but still, we did it together. But it takes someone. That is a skill that pays the bill. Hell, cars. Always going to need a mechanic. And don't be a good mechanic, because if you're a good mechanic and people trust you, you won't get business all the time because people trust you. Like, hey, yo, you got a good mechanic? Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing great in the world of having a good, reliable, trustworthy mechanic that you can count on for any car needs.
Exactly.
The ones you can really trust. I ain't talking about Firestone. I'm talking about a local mechanic has his own shop, and he does a great job. He may get discounts, but he look out for you and take care of you. Those are mechanics that you want to be. You want to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just that simple. And there's a few jobs right there that pay good. Now, are they easy jobs? No. But guess what? Those skills are going to pay the bills, and you'll never be out of a job. You'll people can file all the time in customer service and business all the time or whatever. You don't hear too much of people in those skills that pay the bill be out of jobs. It just doesn't happen.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I just pulled that up for the sake of argument.
What's this? Mechanic?
Aircraft.
Oh, yeah. Right. We didn't even get right.
What's that?
67 to 110K per year as an aircraft mechanic working on a jet. So you can go to a trade school and learn how to do that and get a job and working on, because, I mean, jets need repair. Planes need repair. Somebody got to do that too.
And once again, I'm saying that because no robot, you can't You can't be downsized and outsourced. A human is going to have to do certain jobs. So, that's all I'm gonna say on that. Either way, I'm not encouraging my son to run up to college. I'm telling you today, there is zero possibility I'm gonna co-sign a student loan.
Oh yeah, listen,
I'm not doing that.
I made that very clear. Talking to my wife, I said, I'm not. Unless my kid get a full scholarship somewhere, unless he has a full scholarship, I'm not recommending him going to college. He want to go to college, cool. He got to get his own student loan because I'm not signing nothing and be responsible for paying anything back.
I'm not.
Just that simple. I'm sorry, but that's why I'm on my kids now. Education is very important, so they can understand the free schooling right now, so they can get scholarships and awards, whatever. But as far as planning to go a community college, go to a 4-year university. Like, granted, yes. Did I go to a university? Yes. Did I have fun? Yes. But during my third year, my freshman year, I dropped out. Went to community college, you know what I mean? So,
so once again, and we can keep talking this once again because it's just common sense. I'm not dictating what no one should do. She told me her plans for the future.
Facts.
She told me her plans for her life, and I put a critical eye on it. Basic math. An aircraft mechanic, for every one person who's an aircraft mechanic, there's 10 people that work at Walmart. I'm not throwing stones.
No.
I've met people at Walmart with college degrees. Sometimes life doesn't turn out the way you want it to. But
I met people who had master's degrees who were just supervisors in a call center job for a totally different career. And ask them, why you doing this? Oh, I ain't like that. I get it, you didn't like it, but guess what? That student loan you took out for, they still want their money. Regardless if you're not getting paid, not even close to it. But
exactly. I'm once again, one more, story, person. I knew a dude, straight up, master's degree in nutrition, working at Piccadilly. The restaurant in Piccadilly. He has a master's degree in nutrition. I don't know how many years he spent in college, but that's a 6-year degree to be a master's degree.
Wow.
Working in food service at a restaurant. Not even a manager. Not even no regional manager. Just working in food service with a master's degree. You went to school for 6 years so you could work in a restaurant. Even if he was a manager. He wasn't making $40,000 a year at Piccadilly.
Not even close. Not even close.
Period. All right. So once again, when I say her, because she wasn't looking, she just knew, and this is me going back to us when I'll say the feminist mindset. She just knew that as a woman, cute girl too, it would work out for her because the system is there to help her as a woman. And all she saw was roses, and nobody told her reality. My nephew, on the other hand, I've been preaching reality to him. He heard what I had to say. His mama, I don't have to go through his mother to communicate with my nephew. So boom, he's gotten male guidance. It's just her mama, and her brother. This is what she think is reasonable. Potentially $100,000 in debt before she even starts thinking about trying to raise kids. Her future, if she does what she wants to do, her future's messed up, and that's a defeated by math. If you saw the look on her face at the end of the night, I promise you, I think if you kick a puppy, that's kind of sort of how I felt like I had just did.
We love puppies and dogs. Don't kick no animals.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I felt the look on her face made me feel so bad. It was as if I had kicked a puppy.
I got you.
I just done kicked you off your perch, and now you falling and not sure where the ground is at.
Listen, hopefully she can take that with a grain of salt and you know what? This is the information to change my life. It can change your life because people right now live in college debt and the outcomes of what they're doing to survive. You be like, what? But yes, I'll land my plane. I'm done.
And one more thing, I'm done. I just want to add one more thing. Currently, I seen an article the other day. Current student loan load in America is $1.8 trillion. Of that $1.8 trillion in student loans, $1.2 trillion belong to women. And y'all are taking out loans that y'all realistically will never be able to pay back.
And this goes back to the statement of, as our woman being the most educated. Yes, you are in our group.
Yep.
But I'll stop there. Do your own research. Just figure out what that really means as far as most educated. We did that. We talked about it already. I can't remember the title, but we talked about it. Let's go through the DaChop team. We talked about it already. Most educated.
Yeah, but if your degree is useless, there's no positive in a useless degree. A master, personally, and this is a master's in nutrition. Wait, you mean how to cook and food?
Or it could be like a fitness. You could have partnered with somebody. Like,
bruh, unless you Billy Blanks, you do not need a master in nutrition.
Listen, there's nothing. But anything inside working we worked at
Piccadilly, the restaurant, the Piccadilly cafeteria.
Come on now, like, that's a fall from grace.
Huge
fall.
I mean,
masters.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Salt Bay might have a master's in nutrition, but there's only one Salt Bay, bruh.
Listen, I know some people who hold their degrees as like, yeah, I have a master's, a doctor's, a PhD, whatever. To say you have a master's and what you're doing, it's like, you went to school, you spent all that money. Okay, all right.
Sitting at the table across from me. You know, I went to community college. You got a PhD?
Community college.
The same amount of money?
IT degree. That's me. But anyway, thanks for tuning into the DaChop team.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
I hope this conversation is very informative. I hope you can take it and understand where we're coming from. Talk to your young people about college and education and what really matters. Stop trying to chase these degrees. You know, I mean, if you don't go to college, going to HBC is definitely dope. Do it. I love it. But make sure you pick a degree that's really going to help you succeed in life and not have you stuck in this rat race of the new slavery. Because it is what it is.
Yes.
You cannot get away from your student loans.
Nope.
You can file Chapter 11, all that.
13,
you can do all you want, bankruptcy, whatever. One thing you cannot write off. Is your student loans.
Nope.
That follows you whatever.
And it will follow your children.
And so I'm done. Anything you want to say there?
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm done.
I wore this shirt today on purpose.
Game over. Game over.
That's the whole message I wanted to deliver.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, to see his shirt, you have to go to YouTube, the DaChop team, and you'll see it. Game over.
But just so you know, I wore it on purpose.
And we out.
Peace.